All right. Real Estate for Real with Eric Pettigo. That's me. Appreciate you tuning in. Got a couple special guests in here today with me. We're not talking real estate so much, but I've got Josh Johnson with Hickory Point, and I've got Brady Schroeder with State Farm. And this is going to be fun for me because our friend Diana Eldridge texted me a couple of weeks ago and said, "Hey, can Josh and Brady come on your podcast to talk about the Break for Hot Topics coming up?" Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of how it went for me too.
That was
email said, "Let's do this." I said, "Okay."
That was the extent of my knowledge, and people are surprised at how little prep I actually put into this podcast because it's none. I invite people on and they go, "So what are we? Do you have like an outline? Like what are we going to talk about?" And no, I don't. We're just going to sit down. I'm going to hit record, and then we're just going to go and see what happens. So, right before we started recording, I said, "Hey guys, what are we doing? What are we talking about here?" And so I guess let's start with just what's coming up. What is this Break for Hot Topics about? And then we'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah, so Carr's having a Break for Hot Topic. It's going to be an insurance panel with Brady Schroeder is going to be on it, as well as Nolan Mays with Troxel. And then also Joe, I'm probably going to miss his name, but Bunnington at SB Insurance. So those three are just going to be kind of giving us home, auto, life insurance, insurance topics. And it's kind of big with real estate right now with, roof quotes and everything like that. So
there's some stuff going on, right, with the roofs, and I have general knowledge. We had somebody in here to talk to our company a little bit about it, and I was late for that meeting. I'm a realtor, man. It's
kind of runs in your blood.
Yeah. Apparently, so does submission fighting. I had no idea. That skipped my branch of the family tree, but. Brady was telling me there's a Pettigo submission fighting.
Tim and Josh are going to roll after this.
If I roll, then something's gone horribly wrong. Now, I have to stay upright or I'm in trouble. So, Josh, I think a lot of agents around town know you.
Yep.
Already.
Yeah.
Right?
Been doing it 4 years now. So just got out in the community, and it's events like this that that I went to and just got connected with a lot of good people. Yeah.
And so you're 4 years in the business. You are at Hickory Point. I went and had coffee with Kirsten Taylor.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yep.
So she's working with you now.
Correct. Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be good.
I think she's going to be really good too. So, anybody out there with buyers looking for a lender,
appreciate that.
They'll be in good hands if you send them on over to Josh and Kirsten, the Hickory Point.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
So slide me a little bit under the table here.
Appreciate
be good.
That.
And then so let's get to know Brady a little bit. Sure. What do you do?
I'm a State Farm agent here in town.
Okay. All right. How long you been doing that?
I've been with State Farm for 11 years now. I opened my agency, I guess, going on 8 years ago.
Okay. All right. And what led you to this? What were you doing before?
Well, straight out of college, I started with State Farm as a team member. Did a couple internships in insurance, realized it's something I really enjoyed, and then just did a lot of research on if I'm going to represent any company, I want to make sure it's the one that fits me and my moral compass the most, and who I felt would provide the best products for the customers we sold, and landed on State Farm and made a decision.
All right. No, that's cool, man. And I guess a lot has been brought up about the roofs, like Josh said, because I know I got a new one a couple of years ago, as did I think everyone else in town.
Yep.
Right. We've had storms blow through. Like I always say, Central Illinois, it doesn't rain. It only severe weathers. Like that's all we get. It's bad. And it's like, well, expect damage to roofs, expect some hail. And it's like, again, okay. So have there been some changes then in coverage on how roofs are handled?
The industry as a whole has been making some adjustments. Just a couple interesting facts that I learned was Illinois is actually the second highest hail damage state in the U.S.
Really?
Yep, behind only Texas. And that trend has, over the last 30 years, has gotten worse. So certain parts of the United States have experienced different weather patterns. For one reason or another, over the last 30 years, Central Illinois and certain parts of the Midwest have gotten significantly worse from what we call severe convective storms. So that's going to be hail and wind. So companies are making adjustments to try to stay profitable. A few of those adjustments are most customers, if they didn't already have one, are seeing what's called a wind hail deductible
Okay.
being added to their policy. So it's usually a % deductible that's different than their base deductible. It's typically a little bit higher, like 1%. So that means if you have a $400,000 house, coverage-wise, you'd have a $4,000 wind and hail deductible. That's one way to help mitigate the constant, seemingly every year, there's some kind of wind or hail event. So that's one way.
It is every single year.
It is.
It's nuts, man.
Mm-hmm. I think there's something in the forecast tonight too. Even.
Well, let's not talk about it.
So that's one thing. Another thing is a lot of companies are switching roof coverage from what's called replacement cost coverage to actual cash value, which is a really nice way of saying depreciated value.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really common thing we run into. State Farm, we do have replacement cost roofs. That does come sometimes with a little bit extra premium, but we try to educate people as much as we can on what depreciated value on your roof actually means.
Sure.
If your roof is halfway through its lifespan and something happens to it, you would have to pay for half of your new roof plus your deductible.
Okay. Yeah, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But I get it. You know what I mean? It's just like, roofs are so expensive, man. Everything, and that's, as a realtor, that's the number one thing, right? That when we have buyers coming through, first question, how's the roof?
Yep.
Every time. That's the number one question because that's the biggest expense. And so I get it for the insurance industry. There was a time where it was like, okay, we are footing the bill for every single roof in this whole area. And that's a lot. And so an adjustment was made. And, it is what it is. And people just have to, like you said, be educated moving forward on kind of what it is.
Yeah,
right?
I think from like a realtor standpoint or a lender, the thing to be aware of is underwriting standards are also tightening.
Oh, what do you mean?
So, with the advance in technology, AI, satellite imagery, and things like that, it used to be, we sell a home policy, and there was roughly like a 30 to 40% chance that they need an inspection from a third party. Mm-hmm. Now, they can take satellite imagery, run it through AI, and look at every roof that an insurance company sells. So another thing that we have found customers find interesting or confusing is an inspector version of what is okay on a roof. An insurance company's version of a roof can be different.
Yeah.
So we're really encouraging realtors that we talk to and lenders when they're working with their clients to encourage them to get their homeowners policy in place early on their new home to allow the underwriting process to be completed.
Sure.
So that they can get feedback to take to the seller in the event that there was a problem getting insurance on the property.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, more hoops to jump through for us on the front end. That's just, but it's fine. Is I say this all the time. If it wasn't for that kind of stuff, we wouldn't be needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of, they're always saying, and we're just doing our best to look out for our clients. So, what are you seeing on your end, Josh, with this kind of stuff? Any hiccups with your underwriting?
Haven't seen any yet.
Okay.
I have heard other banks doing AI for their appraisals and getting those reviewed that way. We are not doing that, so we don't have any of those issues as of now.
Really?
So we still have people manually reviewing their appraisals when they come in. So we haven't seen the issues that some of those other banks are seeing. That AI is picking up that the roof needs completed prior to closing. So I have seen people talk about that, deals fall through because of that. So I think that's one thing to look forward to in the future and plan for, because AI is not going anywhere.
No.
But to have resources like Brady and other insurance companies in town and just call them and say, hey, what's this look like for my policy and, for my client's policy? So have those questions answered.
I got hit with, we always, like when we have a listing and then the buyer's agent brings a buyer through, we get a deal together. At some point that text comes through that says, all right, buyer's insurance company has the following questions. Boom, 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 boom. And that list keeps getting kind of longer and longer. Like my sellers had to go measure their deck. They wanted to know how big the deck was out back. Deck's fine. It's in great shape. They want to know how big it was.
Yep.
And the agent said it was Logan. Said, this is a new one, but the insurance company wants to know the dimensions of the deck out back. Okay. So they went out and measured the deck. I don't know why. Do you know why?
I think in general, I think homeowners insurance has been not profitable for insurance companies.
Okay.
Auto insurance has been more profitable, and they can kind of make up the difference there some. But I think that companies are just trying to take everything a little bit more seriously and in more detail to make sure that our policies are written 100% correctly. In the past, you might have a deck that's written and being charged for like a fourth of its actual size.
Right.
And then the house burns down, and you want to take care of the customer, so you build them the deck again, right? But they weren't really being charged for the appropriate size of deck. So that's a small example of, trying to get more precise with our underwriting models.
That makes sense.
Correctly.
Like we need to know exactly if something happens, we need to know exactly what the losses are. Right. Yeah. So if you got a little 12 by 12 deck out back and then it's like, oh man, house burned down in my, 24 by 30 multi-level deck is gone now. So I'm going to need you. So that makes sense. Cause I had never heard that before. But now I understand it a little bit better. Just better inventory on the front end of, okay, exactly what are we insuring here? Yeah, that makes good sense.
And it's good for the buyers too, because when they buy a home, they want that home, and if worst case scenario does burn down, then you get that home back. Yeah,
and I'm ready to quit putting this burn down talk out into the, air. The house is fine. The house is fine. It's not going. It's good shape. So don't worry. Electrical's all good. Everything's good. They don't leave candles burning. Nothing.
Nope.
Everything's fine. So this break for hot topic coming up it's April 7th.
April 7th at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. at the car building.
Yep, at the car building.
That's early.
It is early. They got coffee. You're all right.
They do. So you guys are going to be up speaking in front of everyone?
I won't be, but they're to be talking all insurance needs.
Yeah. You're not going to be there?
I'll be there. I just won't be talking.
Okay.
He could probably teach it at this point. How much? I don't know if he mentioned it, but Josh's wife Keely works for me. So,
okay, I was getting ready to ask, what's the connection? How do you guys know each other?
So Brady's pretty modest. So Keely started with Brady probably a year and a half ago, but he's one of the best insurance agents that I've ever talked to and ever met. Good job. And I don't like insurance agents besides my wife and Brady probably. No, I'm kidding. But I've met a lot of insurance agents, and there's a lot in town that are good agents.
Okay.
But talking to Brady, and he really knows his stuff, and her working under him, it's been a great collaboration for both of them, just learning and pushing each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the connection. So you're going to be up talking in front of people.
In general, there's just a lot of education. Like we're just kind of spitballing here on what's changing in the industry, and it really is going to affect realtors and their buyers and sellers. And in general, there hasn't been like a whole lot of communication around it.
Right.
It's not like you guys are getting bulletins from State Farm or Allstate or anything like that telling you, hey, these things have changed. So I think the goal is, you have some State Farm representation, then you have some independent broker representation up there. And so you'll get a lot of different perspectives on how different companies are handling the situation. And then realtors can kind of ask questions and figure out like, hey, maybe this company, maybe State Farm is the right fit to refer to for this buyer, and maybe this independent broker is the best fit for this buyer.
Sure.
And it can kind of give them a guideline so they can provide the best experience to their customer through the buying process or selling process.
Yeah, and I'm glad you made that connection there, because we are often like the, first line of defense. We're like the central hub for everything, and we make these connections, with loan officers and insurance agents and contractors and inspectors. And we're on the affiliates committee at CART, and that's the reason I signed up for that committee, because I value those relationships.
Correct.
And that networking is, it takes a little while in this business before you understand, like, oh, I need to know more than just, where the light switches are. And, I need to have general knowledge of all of these different things. And the way that I get that is by networking, making connections with people in these other industries. And homeowners insurance almost gets looked over a little bit, right? Because really it's the lender asking, saying, hey, we need to get your policy in place, right? So that's not something we usually touch.
Correct.
But I have before referred my clients. They've been like, all right, I don't even know who to call, because then they'll get a hold of me. Oh, I don't even know who to call. What? I said I have to get homeowners insurance. What do I do now? Mm-hmm. And so then I'll refer them over to somebody. So but more often than not, it's something we don't really mess with.
Yeah.
We leave it up. It's the lender and the buyer. It's on them to go get that part of it done. And we're dealing with repair addendums and super
Correct.
Fun stuff.
And the good thing is, once you make those connections, you have a Brady or a Keeley at State Farm, and then you have a Joe at SB Insurance who's, independent, has multiple that they can shop with, and then Troxel as well. I know Nick Koch there, who works there. He's an agent, but Nolan Mays, they do a great job over there too. And they've been in Springfield a long time,
Yeah.
So just having those different people that you can send business to, and they can each quote and tell them what the best is for their company.
Yeah, and you do, you kind of do matchmaker sometimes, because, I know a lot of great loan officers in town.
Yeah.
I know, but some people come through and their situation, I'll be like, you know what, here, call this person. I think you guys are I think this is going to be a good,
Yeah.
And so I kind of need that a little bit more from your industry, because I don't have the connections there. So give me a card, probably, if you have some, right?
I'll give you Keeley's.
She'll do great for you.
You said Keeley's been doing it for how long?
She's been doing it probably about as long as I've been in banking. So I think she's at about 6 years, almost 7 now. So
okay.
She's been in insurance a long time. She's been on the independent side, and then now she's at State Farm. So she has a little bit both worlds that she learns from. So she's a great
working
job.
with Brady.
Yeah.
Awesome. Where are you from originally? Around here?
I'm from Minear, Illinois, which is
From where?
yeah. If you end up in Minear, you probably took a wrong turn. But it's about an hour north of here.
Okay.
My wife's from Chatham area, so.
Oh, I'm a Chatham guy.
Well, it is. You typically end up where the wife's from if you're not both from here. So I lost that battle.
Yeah, I got a Chatham girl, so I didn't have to leave. Yeah, you lost that battle too.
Yeah, she's from New Berlin.
Oh,
She's pretzel.
pretzel country. Yeah.
We're in Rochester now, though. So
All right. Look at you.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with New Berlin. There's some good people and good houses in New Berlin for sure. All right. So when did you move here?
So went to school in Missouri, and then in Kirksville, Missouri, and that's where I got my start doing what Keeley does. I worked for an agent for about 3 years, and then we moved here in 2018.
Okay.
To open the agency. We knew we wanted to come back, be closer to family. It was just about waiting on the right opportunity, and everything's been a perfect fit. We're just over by Schnucks on the corner of Chatham and Isles, and
Great location.
it's been a really good fit for everybody. Employees love working in that location. There's a lot going on. Customers find it convenient, so it's worked out really well.
And that's your office?
Correct.
Nice job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Nice job. So how many people do you have working there with you?
We have 9 currently other than me.
Okay.
They're all fully licensed, so they're all able to assist. So we have a larger insurance office that allows us we do stuff all over the state, really. The heaviest part of our business is obviously local, but it is a very unique insurance experience. We have a lot of positions that we've created that a lot of offices don't have that kind of hold your hand through that process. Josh refers everything over to Keeley, not everything, but we hopefully get a lot from Josh, it seems like. And I think obviously Keeley's a part of it, but also just like the customers have such a good experience when they go over there. We help them cancel their current company. We have someone's dedicated just to walking them through that welcome process. And the bigger team just allows a little bit more flexibility and a little bit better customer experience.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And where were you from originally, Josh?
Muhammad, Seymour.
Muhammad, okay.
Yep. So I went to school there, played basketball, played sports there, and then came here. I actually wanted to become a nurse.
Okay.
So I moved to Missouri first for about 6 months. I was going to nursing school. The schooling was fine. I was like, I need to know what a nurse does. So I went to go shadow a nurse, and they stuck me in like a box, kind of like this. They were doing surgery, and kind of got a little bloody, and my stomach was kind of ripping. I said, this is not going to be for me.
No, man. No.
So then I moved to Rochester, my aunt and uncle, and then just kind of fell into banking as a teller, and then just moved my way up a little bit, and just enjoyed real estate and mortgage lending ever since.
It's kind of a common story, right? It feels like a lot of people in your position started off as a teller at a bank,
Yep.
and then kind of worked their way up. So
Yeah.
And you were a sports guy, and we talked about this a little bit before. I ran a 30 and over basketball league for a few years, and we were always, 30 and over. What you come across are injuries and prior commitments, families and kids' games, and so there were always teams looking for subs, and so I accumulated a sub list, and I put it out there to the league. Hey, if you ever need an extra player, here's a list of people. And Josh was always trying to weasel his way in. And it was a very strict 30 and over.
Yeah.
Very strict. There's a reason for that, because as an older guy, it's no fun chasing around people in their 20s.
Yeah.
Like, I've been playing basketball my whole life. And when I was in my 20s, it was fine. I'm in my 40s, things are different. Those guys are exhausting. They just keep running and they jump. I mean, it's annoying.
Well,
I
people
try to tell my staff that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, once you turn 30, your knees and elbows don't work like they used to.
It's crazy, right?
And they don't believe me. They think that everything's going to be fine. I'm like, you wake up on your 30th birthday, your low back's going to hurt, and your knees are going to crash.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
And that's the beginning. And what that is the precursor to your 40s. And that's when things start. They turn from aches and pains to just fully broken down, right? And so people in their 20s will never understand. They'll never understand that. Josh.
Oh, you think this is funny. 2 weeks ago, I played basketball for the first time probably in the past 3-4 months.
Okay.
Fast break layup, just me, knee buckled, totally hit the deck. I was out for 2 weeks just icing.
What happened to your knee?
I think I just sprained it. I'm good
Okay.
now. I'm 25, so I still.
If you were 33, you'd be getting reconstructive surgery.
Yeah, that's what it felt like almost.
See, that's what I was just playing pickup ball, man. And I crossed over and I was just going left. My right knee buckled in. I was down. I completely ruptured my ACL.
Yeah,
Just ripped in half.
that's what it felt like.
Yeah. Well, that's not what happened, because ice in 2 weeks didn't do anything for me. I had to do full reconstructive surgery, and I'm retired.
It's all that jiu-jitsu you did growing
That's
up.
what it is.
Broke it down.
That's what it was, man. No, I played a lot of basketball, but like my whole life I played basketball, and I did manual labor before I got into real estate. I laid sod. My family in this area was into sod and landscaping, not jujitsu. And so I spent 16 years crawling around on my knees, tugging sod balls around and putting them in place. And it was in the 30s, it was the popping and the cracking. You know what I mean? And that's when I was like, well, this is no fun. I'm going to probably get a different job. And that's how I got into real estate. But I kept playing basketball though. And like, my knee's feeling kind of off. So then it was like, I'll just get some of these knee braces, kind of hold it in place. And,
So who got you into real estate? Did you have a mentor or?
yeah. Well, yes, and the two different people, right? With the person that got me into real estate was actually my realtor, who was Linda Nelson, who's before your time.
Yeah.
She's retired, moved to Colorado, living her best life. But she was our realtor when my wife and I were needing a bigger house.
Yeah.
And this was like, I think 2009, 2010. So it was way different market back then.
Yeah.
It was fresh off the 2008 collapse.
Yep.
But that was right about when my body started hurting too, and we had 3 kids and we were in Chatham, and man, things were just expensive, so I was like, I'm thinking about a career move, and it took us 2 years to get our house sold and to find something else. And in that process and looking at all those houses and studying markets and stuff, and it's like, I think I might like real estate, And I talked to Linda. She said, yeah, you should definitely. You would be a natural at it. You should do. So I started studying and I got it. But by the time I started, she was out of the business. But here, and I've been here my whole career since 2014. But Mike Busher and Pat Sellinger really taught me the business.
Yep.
And so, do you know Pat?
I never met Pat.
Never, no. But you've heard of Pat, maybe?
Correct, yep.
Yeah. Everybody knows Pat.
Yeah.
We would love to have him back into the business. And then every time I talk to him, we're ready for you, buddy. We're ready for you. But yeah, no, they were hugely instrumental in me learning what I was doing. So now I'm trying to share that knowledge with newer agents and teach some people myself. So, and that's kind of part of what this is too. So yeah, that's fun, man. I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, great job. And you just meet so many people, right? And then I started doing this, and now I'm meeting even more people.
Yeah,
super, super cool.
Yeah,
so
you're doing a great job.
Josh, go on.
Go on. Yeah.
What is the most common question you hear in your industry? What people?
Why is my price going up?
And how do you answer that?
Well, we just try to educate them on what's going on. Just like we're talking about with the homeowners insurance and the things that are changing and what we're doing to help mitigate that. We actually will share openly with our customers what State Farm's combined ratio was the year before, which is essentially just all the premium you took in versus all the expenses.
Okay.
We're a mutual company, meaning that we don't have shareholders. So when we do take a rate increase, it is truly because cost of insurance has increased. There's nobody to make excess profit for.
Sure.
And just an example of that is we made too much money in 2025 on auto insurance. So State Farm is actually giving a $5 billion refund to their customers. That's kind of part of being the mutual advantage. So when people bring up their price increasing, for one, we always want to address it with sincerity because things are tight for people.
Yeah.
So we want to talk through that. And at the end, they usually understand. They're comforted by the mutual structure. They appreciate that we spent the time walk them through it. And then obviously we just look for ways to save them money, finding more discounts or anything else that they might be missing out on.
And I'm sure people really appreciate that. And it is everything is just getting more expensive. And so when people see their price going up and they come to you and say, what's going on here? I mean, you have to understand that the things that you are insuring are getting more expensive too, right? So cost of doing business goes up. You got to raise your prices a little bit. I mean, and that's kind of what's happening with everything right now. But yeah, I want, because we all have in our lines of work, we all have the most common questions, and then we have to okay, and there's a way you have to answer this. And so what do you get usually?
What's the interest rate? Yep.
I get that all the time.
I mean, the bad thing right now is the past 2 weeks they've been increasing a little bit.
Yeah.
But just kind of breaking down the mortgage rates, they're kind of based off or influenced off the 10-year treasury. So you can kind of watch them. If that's dipping up, then usually interest rates are coming a little bit up. So I just think with all the government turmoil right now, that's why they're increasing a little bit. But over time, they always come back down,
What's wild is people ask me that all the time, and they usually know better than I do. I'll be showing a house, and they'll be like, interest rates looks like are back up above 6. And I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are they? All right.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
It's just a rate. I mean, at the end of the day, if you love the home, the price point's where you want it, the payment's where you want it, you can always refinance. You're not going to be home. Most likely, you're probably not going to be home more than 7 years on average.
Right.
But if it is your dream home, I mean, you're always going to have an opportunity to refinance.
Yeah, and people should probably quit waiting for the 2% interest rates to come back. It's time to move forward. We're not getting those.
Nope.
Yeah, we're not getting those. Yeah. What's the biggest challenge, Brady, that you have to face helping people out?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're great a question.
Well, I always say, and this will give you time to think a little bit. When people come on here, people come in and kind of expect like an interview. I'm not an interviewer, it's a conversation, not an interview, So I'm just like, let's just fire away, man. Whatever you want to say, ask me stuff. I'll ask you stuff. We'll talk, insert whatever you want to. But if not, I'll try to come up with some questions to get conversation moving. So I'm always curious to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because I know the challenges I have to face for people in other industries. I'm always curious, like what's like one of the toughest parts about you doing your job, which is just providing a service to people.
Yeah, I think in general, there's a lack of education around insurance. There's a lot of jargon that gets thrown around. I'll give you an example of full coverage.
Okay.
Right. So someone's like, I have full coverage on my car. Well, they don't understand what full coverage means, right? When people refer to that, what they're really referring to is I have comprehensive and collision coverage. So I'm covered if something happens to my vehicle. But it may not include rental car coverage. It may not include towing. It may not include adequate liability limits. So someone will have a claim, and they'll say, hey, I'm taken care of because I have full coverage. I have all of it. In reality, it's just a kind of like a harmful jargon used by people to refer to insurance that doesn't encapsulate all of their coverages. So it's just like educating people through the quoting process and trying to make sure that they understand like all the individual coverages on their policy beyond just maybe some of the common phrases that they hear around insurance. Can be a challenge, to get through to them that I guess you have full coverage right now, but you have some major gaps in your plan that we want to address for you.
That makes sense. So again, it kind of circles back to just educating people.
Absolutely.
Which is really what we're all trying to do. Yeah, right. How about you, Josh?
I'll piggyback and say the exact same thing. Kind of stole my answer, but the reason is, in school, you don't learn anything about mortgage lending.
No.
Buying a home, insurance. I didn't take one class about any of that till probably maybe a little bit in college. So just being a source for people and educating them and on the process on, not just how to buy a home, but also what's it mean, an appraisal? What's that even mean? What's a home inspection mean? What does, getting insurance align you up to a good company? All those different facets of buying a home that people don't even think of or know just about, especially first-time home buyers. That's why it's just important just to give them as much information as you can to lead them in the right direction.
I honestly prefer it when somebody comes to me and says, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
Correct. Yeah.
Can you help me out? Oh, yeah, great. This is great. This means you're not coming to me going, well, my dad told me I need to be doing this, and he sold 2 houses. All right.
Yeah.
This must have been a busy week for him. Oh, no, in his life? Okay, yeah. So, I almost like it better when they come in and just say, please just help me. And because, we're going to do our best to take care of them and do what's right for them.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot better when they just come completely open-minded, like, educate me, please. I have no idea what I'm doing. And then you can really I feel like those go the smoothest. Yes. Right? Because they're all ears, just you let me know what I need to do. And then when they come in and they think they know a bunch of stuff, and then we have to fight that fight to just kind of educate them on what the reality of the situation, as opposed to their preconceived notions of what things were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right.
In this industry, it changes so much. It feels like every day some days.
Yeah.
So just staying on top of all of that and just being a source. Like this morning, I sat down with 2 first-time home buyers and just walked through the process, and they just loved it because they've never knew how to buy a home.
Yeah.
So it's great.
And they're learning something new.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you get them set up with homeowners insurance.
Once they buy that home.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
And get them set up with a good realtor.
Uh-huh. That's the key. Good realtor, good lender, good insurance agent. There's a ton in Springfield.
Yeah.
Local companies, local people. And we live in this community, so we should support it,
Yeah.
There's a lot of good options out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I do. I've got insurance questions because I know the least about what you do, right? I work with lenders all the time.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to throw Josh a bone every now and then to keep him involved in the conversation.
Fire off some questions,
that.
man.
Yeah. But a lot of people I come across, something happens, they're almost scared to submit a claim, right? Like, how do you, if somebody calls you and says, hey, I got this going on, should I even submit a claim? Or, you know what I mean? How do you kind of put their minds at ease a little bit? I think people are scared they're going to get dumped, or they're scared that they're all of a sudden now they're going to have to start paying way more if they submit a claim, which is really what the relationship is supposed to be, right? That's why you have insurance.
Yeah. What I would say on that is the narrative around homeowners insurance has shifted a little bit. Not that it's better or worse, but in the past, homeowners insurance is looked at more of like a major hazard policy. You know, if you, some companies will still call it hazard insurance, you know, or catastrophe insurance. So really the idea behind insurance is you have an event that you can't possibly plan for and you can't possibly have budgeted for.
Right.
And then the insurance company steps up because you've been paying your premiums. They take care of that issue for you. What sometimes insurance, especially homeowners insurance, gets turned into is people start looking at it as more of a maintenance policy.
Sure.
Which is not its intent. So, you know, I can't speak for all insurance companies, but, you know, a lot of the way that we look at things is claim frequency. Even smaller claims are sometimes like, you know, a little bit of a red flag in the sense of like, is this customer treating this policy as a maintenance policy rather than a hazard policy or a catastrophe policy? So, you know, there is the cost of homeownership does come with, you know, repairs and things like that. But
absolutely,
again, it comes down to lack of education. People think I have homeowners insurance. Therefore, if anything goes wrong with my house, you know, I call my insurance agent and file the claim. So we try to educate them when they call us and say, hey, you know, my power went out, food in my fridge spoiled, for example. We walk them through. Like,
they want you to cover the grocery bill.
Yeah. Which we can to cover loss, but like we just walk them through. Like,
I mean,
you know, is this
okay? Yeah.
Is this worth?
You give it Eric ideas now.
Yeah. No.
So it is a kind of a touchy area, right? Because you're right. You pay for insurance so that you can use it.
Right.
But we try to just help people understand when you should use it, and the kind of that like break point is, was this a catastrophe type incident? Something completely out of your control you could not have possibly budgeted or planned for, or just more of a maintenance issue? You know, a minor thing happened to the house, piece of siding fell off, fence got a little damaged, things like that. Just maintaining your property. But ultimately, it's the customer's decision whether they want to file a claim or not. And we always assist them with that if they would like to. But they usually appreciate the conversation around it, trying to see if maybe this is a maintenance issue or a
like maybe don't. So curious. What is the most like, come on, are you kidding me?
boy.
That call that you've ever got, like, can I file a claim on this? And it's just something that was like, come on, man, you got to just replace the light bulb. We're not covering. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You've
been doing it a long time.
We've got some stuff. Auto insurance, we had a lady say that her car was vandalized by bricks. She stole the Enterprise rental car. They called the police. They found a decomposing German Shepherd in the backseat.
Oh, that's not funny.
Not funny at all.
Oh my gosh.
That's probably the worst auto insurance one. We paid out a claim for somebody soiling themselves on the carpet.
Sorry.
Good Lord.
Sorry. It's unreal.
I mean, you hear all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, for the most part, people are reasonable.
Yeah,
but
okay.
there's always an outlier. So we see some crazy stuff. There's some more maybe non-recorded podcast stories too, but we'll leave those off.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, that's, I like hearing that kind of stuff. I'm interested in what other people deal with in their day-to-day life. I met with a client this morning, a new client, brand new. I just met her for the first time, the sweetest lady. I'm going to sell her house and move to Indiana and be closer to her kids and her grandkids, right? Just the sweetest lady. And it's one of those meetings where she's like, I'm just so glad I met you. And I said, likewise, you're very nice.
Yep.
And I appreciate that. And she goes, I'm sure you meet the other side too. And I was like, yeah. No, I mean, in this line of work, you deal with everybody,
Yeah.
just both ends of the spectrum, and so it's always nice when you meet somebody, I have stories. I could definitely share that I've done a lot of these podcasts, and most of them I've kept protected. This is an off the air conversation, but no, that's yeah. I was hoping for something funny, man, and then it just
Turned
Dark
dark.
turn.
Yeah,
I have a tendency to do that. I'm sorry. It's a character flaw.
That's all right. That's all right. So I guess how many people, let me circle back to this. So Diana's happy that we talk about this plenty. How many people are going to be on this panel?
3 people.
3 people.
Yep.
Okay.
One from Troxel,
Okay.
one from State Farm, and then one from SB Insurance.
You guys like collaborate ahead of time on like, okay, we're going to touch on this and this, or are you just going to go stand there and like just get peppered with questions?
Yeah, I think that we've got, some mild relationships with them from referral partnerships and things like that. So probably touch base a little bit beforehand. But I think in general, the idea is less of like a, prepared presentation and more of a, here's a few things that we think are important. And then we really just want to answer the questions of what the realtors or the guests have. And there's only so much that we can, collaborate on because we represent different companies.
Right. That's what I was wondering, how that dynamic is going to be.
Yeah, I think it'll be really beneficial for the attendees because they will get different perspectives from different companies. And like I said earlier, I think that can guide them on we might be the best referral partner for one of your clients. And then, Troxel might be the best referral partner for another one. And you kind of get to pick up on who you should send to where just from some of the answers and things like that. So
Cool. And so one more time on the date, Josh. Because
April 7th, 9 a.m. at CAR, 3149 Robbins Road.
I'm putting this in my phone right now.
I better see there.
I guess okay, April 7th. I don't have anything on that date. So 9 a.m. All right. I'm putting it in my phone. So I am going to be there.
Perfect.
And so we want to encourage every agent who listens to this to show up to this as well.
Yes.
Will there be donuts?
That's a good question. That's a Katie at CAR question.
Okay.
I can't
Katie,
answer that.
I think
There needs to be
the
donuts
ladies
there.
at CAR, I believe, listen to the podcast. You bring donuts, you're gonna get some realtors showing up just for the donuts.
That's true.
Right?
That is true.
Yeah. And then you lock the doors and you keep them in there.
You're going to start rolling with them? Is that what you're going to
No,
do?
stop. No. We're trying to.
he'll be guarding the door.
Yeah.
Once we start talking insurance, they won't want to leave. They'll be too entertained, I think.
Yeah. We do love just some good, exhilarating insurance
I
talk.
bet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And do we have to RSVP? Do you know?
It's preferred, but you don't have to. Nope,
Okay.
you're going to show up.
All right. Good deal. Know how long it's going to last?
Probably no more than an hour. I mean, probably 30, 45 minutes of them talking and then maybe 10, 15, Q&A.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be there.
Perfect.
So I'll be there, and we'll try to get everybody else rounded up too, and we trying to get good turnouts for these things, man, because it's important. Like, we get so caught up in, I'm guilty of it too. We've got appointments after appointments, and we show these houses, and we have to make sure, the day a house hits the market, we got to get our people in there because we don't have time to think about things now or to just breathe every now and then. But there are things like this that come along. It's kind of easy to just be like, yeah, well, I can't make that one, maybe the next one.
Yeah.
But it's important to cut out that time and put it in your calendars now, like I did. So I know it's there. It's blocked off. When somebody says, hey, can I look at a house on that day? I'm going to say, yeah, I'm free after like 10:30.
Bring them.
You know what I mean? To bring the people.
Bring the people. They need to know.
Extra donuts, Katie. I'm bringing my clients. We're all going to be there. All right, gentlemen, is there anything else you want to throw in before we wrap this up?
I don't think so. We
right.
appreciate you having us on here.
Man, of course.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys coming in here. Yeah, that was great. And you got to save a little bit for the for the actual event. You know, you can't just give it all away here. Then people are going to be like, why would I even go?
Yeah.
I heard the whole thing on the podcast. I'm good.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to hit this button and hope it's my music. Hey, it is. All right. I got some weird sound effects on here, too. That would have been fun.
You said it.
Yeah. All right. Josh Johnson, Brady Schroeder, thank you guys so much for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Eric.